டாக்டர் சுரேஷ் சொன்னாங்க மென்டல் சொல்லி எல்லாரும் திட்டுவாங்கன்னு சொல்லி. பட் சந்தோஷமாகவும் கூப்பிடுவாங்க டாக்டர். செல்லமாக திட்டுறதும் மென்டல்னு சொல்லி தான் கூப்பிடுவோம். ஸோ ஐ திங்க் இட்ஸ் அ குட் கானோட்டேஷன். ஸோ இட்ஸ் நாட் நெசசரிலி மீன்ஸ் அ பேட் வேர்ட். யாரையா சொல்லும் போது ஆக்சுவலி வி சே மென்டல்னா சந்தோஷமாக திட்டுற மாதிரி தானே. ஸோ இட் ஆல்சோ ஹேஸ் அ ரைட் சைட் ஆஃப் தி கானோட்டேஷன். ஸோ ஆன் தட் நோட் ஐட் லைக் டு ஸ்டார்ட் வித் வாட் ஐட் லைக் டு சே. Respected guests on the dais, actor Mr. Vikram, and name Saravanan போயிட்டாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Has he left already? Saravanan sir போயிட்டாங்களோ? Okay. Mr. A.V.M. Saravanan, Mr. T.M. Krishna. Actually you spoke, I wasn't sure whether you're a musician or a psychiatrist. நீங்கள் பேசுறதை பார்த்தா அப்படி தான் இருந்தது. It was a fantastic speech. Thank you very much. And Dr. Raghuram, thank you very much, doctor. And my dear Dr. Suresh and Dr. Shakuntala, of course Dr. Rangarajan, Dr. Venkatesh, Dr. Mohan Kameshwaran, and all the wonderful audience here, a very, very good evening to you. Thank you very much for inviting me over, Doctor, to speak. Actually, I'm not sure if I am a real qualified speaker to speak in this event. In fact, my niece was asking me, போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி நான் சொன்னேன், இந்த மாதிரி சன்மாதி ஃபங்க்ஷன் இருக்குமா, நான் பேச போகிறேன், உங்களை எதுக்கு கூப்பிட்டாங்க? மை லிட்டில் நீஸ் மணால் சிட்டிங் தேர். ஸோ என்கிட்ட கேட்டுச்சு, உங்களை எதுக்கு கூப்பிட்டாங்க, நீங்கள் என்ன பேச தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு அப்படின்னு. ஸோ ஐ செட், oh my God, so she's asking me a real interesting question, I have to answer properly. I said, look ma, don't you know that we have so many psychiatrists and psychologists in the family? அப்படியா, யார் சைக்காலஜிஸ்ட் எத்தனை பேர் இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேட்டுச்சு. I said, how come you don't know about all these things சொல்லி கேட்டோன்னே, we actually have 3 psychologists in the family. My sister Mariam, who's here, she is a psychiatrist, psychologist. My wife, Madhiha, who is not here today, she has done 5 years of psychology study and she did an undergrad and she did a master's. So I first சொன்னேன்னா, look, என்ன மாதிரி ஆளை கல்யாணம் படிச்சேன்னா உனக்கு ஃபஸ்ட்டு சைக்காலஜி படித்தா தான் யூ வில் பி ஏபிள் டு சர்வைவ் இன் லைஃப். இதுதான் உனக்கு ஃபஸ்ட்டு லெசனு. ஸோ அதனால this is the first thing you have to do. And of course my niece Safwa, who is also here. So Manal, we actually have 3 psychologists and psychiatrists in the making in the family, so don't worry about us. Okay. Actually, இன்னைக்கு என்ன ஸ்பீச் கொடுக்கும்போது யோசிச்சுட்டு இருக்கும்போது something very, I was just thinking about, what should be the quest of happiness and what am I going to speak on. Actually, அதை பற்றி திங்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது a very sort of happy incident and a happy moment in life came to mind. And that happy incident is thanks to somebody in the audience here and somebody who made me very happy and somebody I've never met before. And that's you, Vikram sir. நீங்க தான். I'll tell you why. So எப்படி இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்பீச் கொடுக்க போகிறோமே, ஸோ ஐ ஹேவ் டு திங்க் ஆஃப் அ ஹாப்பி மூமெண்ட். வேர் இஸ் தட் ஐவ் ஆக்சுவலி பீன் ஹாப்பின்னு சொல்லி திங்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது உங்கள் ரண்டக்க பாட்டு இருக்குல்ல, in Onion movie. Sir, that was fantastic. Everything about that song was. நம்ப மாட்டீங்க, உங்கள் பாட்டை கேட்டுட்டு then I went to சுந்தரபாண்டியபுரம். அங்கே போய் நீங்கள் அந்த அக்ரஹாரத்தில் இருந்தீங்கல்ல, ஸோ ஆல் தட் டான்ஸ் இந்த அக்ரஹாரம், we went to see that. I went to see the bridge also. அதுக்கப்புறம் போய் வைஃப்டெல்லாம் சொல்லி போய் மாமியெல்லாம் இருக்காங்க, போய் முறுக்கு வாங்கணும்னு சொல்லி சுந்தரபாண்டியபுரம் போய் முறுக்கு வாங்கணும். And all of that in my favorite place, which is basically குற்றாலம். ஸோ எனக்கு கேட்டிங்கன்னா I've got such fantastic memories of குற்றாலம். And actually என்னன்னு சொல்லி கேட்டிங்கன்னா, so when I was just doing some research and finding out more about the connection between Randaka and Kutralam. So how is it connected? In fact, my assistant in the office today, Razia, was asking, அது எப்படி சார் Randaka and happiness, how is it connected? அது எப்படி கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்களேன் அப்படின்னாங்க. I said, I'll tell you how it is connected. First of all, அந்த பாட்டு கேட்டிங்கன்னா the amount of life which is there, the amount of life and the music, and the amount of life which is there in the song, the amount of music which is there, the amount of greenery which is there, the amount of happiness which is there, and of course the fresh air that you see in Kutralam. I think these are all simple things in life, right? Good music. Of course we have to pay money for listening to good music these days, but a place like Kutralam, for example, pathina, the amount of fresh air and the amount of natural things that one gets to enjoy is just fantastic. So I just thought I'll share a little bit about that. So of course குற்றாலம் சொல்லணும் தான் ஏன் வருது. முன்னாடி எல்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்க, இப்போ கூட தான் சொல்கிறாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், குற்றாலமா மென்டல்ப்பா, அங்கே அனுப்பிடுங்க, ஃபால்ஸில் கொண்டு போய் உள்ளே இறக்குனீங்கன்னா எல்லாம் சரியாயிடும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி தான் ஐம் ஷூர் many of you would have heard that. But I think there's another connotation to it. I think it has got to do with the ambience. the fresh air, the waterfalls, nature, good food, good sleep, just about everything. So I think it's a very, for me, it's a very special moment where I've enjoyed a lot of happiness, and I'm sure a lot of other people have also enjoyed Kutralam. So coming to a little bit about the corporate world, so Dr. Taketa, in the perspective, shall I actually give a little bit of perspective on happiness from a corporate perspective? So he asked me to prepare something on the corporate side, and I think there's a lot of sadness in the corporate world as well. I think particularly in the hyper active and hyper competitive world, there is just a lot of stressed out people, a lot of people who are not happy at work. So I usually try to make the workplace as happy as possible. I don't know if I'm actually doing it, but my colleagues whether I'm making them happy or making them more stressed out. So I just want to give you a little perspective on a few items that I actually found out about workplace stress and what can actually cause it. And interestingly enough, I've actually listed on your audience who are sitting here, you will not be able to see the slides that I have. So what are the items which cause people to be unhappy? What is that causes people to increase the levels of stress? And I just found out 6 items. And first among them, I think Dr. Mohan also made a mention of it earlier, is many people working without a purpose. Why are you around? வேலைக்கு போறோம், எதுக்கு வேலைக்கு போறோம்? And நிறைய பேர்ட்ட கேட்டிங்கன்னா எதுக்குப்பா வேலைக்கு போற? ஒன்றும் வழி இல்லை, சம்பாதிக்கணும். So typically that's the only way. But it's not a cause, but doctor சொன்னாங்க. For example, when you go to work, are you going to make somebody here? And I think that's such a noble cause. I think medical profession itself is such a noble cause. And every day when you're actually going to practice, I'm sure you find a lot of meaning in what it means. When a patient becomes cured, I'm sure doctors feel very happy. So I think one of the things that lacks in the corporate world for people who are not happy is that they're working without a purpose. So that is one top item. Of course, another item is lack of money, which usually people cite. Then work-life imbalance. Usually, that's a major cause, work-life imbalance. Unable to manage work and stress, of course, extra workload and extra stress and whatnot. Interpersonal problems. I think these are issues which people face. Mismatch in skills, mismatch in expectations. I think these are all the reasons which finally result in workplace stress, results in people being unhappy, results in more stress and whatnot. So obviously, I'm also from the corporate world, so I'm also susceptible to these type of risks and stress and whatnot. So initially when I started, I also had many of these items that I've listed. I used to go to work in the office. Of course, my father's company was there. Office ku povom solluvaanga முதலாளி பையன் வந்துட்டான்ப்பா என்ன பண்ண வந்திருக்கேன்னு கேட்பாங்க. I felt completely useless. ஒண்ணுமே பண்ணல. First 2 years I used to go to work. நேரா போக வேண்டியது. அந்த காலத்துலலாம் பேக்மேன் அண்ட் டிக்டாக் அந்த இது டிக்டாக் டோக்கு இதெல்லாம் இருக்கும், கம்ப்யூட்டர் கேம்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கும். ஆஃபீஸுக்கு போக வேண்டியது. I'll just sit and I wasted 2 years of my life doing nothing. And எல்லாத்தையும் கேட்ட ஆஃபீஸர் சொல்லுவாங்க, என்னப்பா ஃபாதர் கம்பெனி தானே, நீ என்ன வேணாலும் பண்ணலாமே. Just because it's my father's company, I can't do anything. I need to find meaning in what I want to do. So it took me a while to find out, what is that I actually really want to do. And so after a lot of pondering, so what has been my quest in happiness? How did I finally I think I'm reasonably happy. And so what has been my quest for happiness? And one of the very important things that I sort of discovered is purposeful engagement. Why are you here? What is the purpose? I think already we've discussed that. Doctor has already made a mention of it. Purposeful engagement. Find meaning in what one actually has to do. I'm very fortunate. I'm very humbled also. Today we have started generation in a 1200 megawatt power plant in Tamil Nadu. We cater to roughly 10% of Tamil Nadu's power needs. And about 2 வாரத்துக்கு முன்னாடி we got a call from, we had to reduce the generation in our power plant. 600 megawatt வந்து maximum power capacity. இப்போதைக்குள்ள 2 யூனிட் இருக்கு, 2 into 600 megawatts. And first unitல பாத்தீங்கன்னா we went up to 600, but we had to back down because we did not have enough coal in the plant. So we came down to 270 megawatts. 270 megawatts on we started getting phone calls from chairman of TNEB and the secretary and all that. People called up and said, you have to ramp up the generation, you have to do something about it. And of course we were struggling, because we had to raise money and do things, And the CMD of Tangentco came back and said, look, the children are having exams. And if you people are not going to ramp up the capacity, tomorrow there may be a power cut, and right in the middle of the exams, we should not have a power cut. And it's not going to be really good for the children who are writing the exams, I felt so happy. I said, my God, we are actually doing something which is going to touch so many people. And of course, we've been going through a very tough time in setting up the power plant and whatnot. But it's moments like these which actually makes, all the effort and all the stress meaningful. So why did you take so much stress? Because we are doing it for a meaningful cause, which is a purposeful engagement. And since it's a purposeful engagement, no amount of stress, you can overcome stress because it's a purposeful engagement. So this has been one of my very big discoveries. And personally, for me, another item which has helped in managing stress is appetite for learning. Voracious learning, reading, talking to people, traveling and whatnot. I think it's really helped me to also to find happiness. Like we discussed earlier, stress is also caused because of mismatch in expectations. So mismatch in expectations, how do you bridge the gap? Either you can give up, சரிப்பா ஒண்ணுமே தெரியலன்னு சொல்லி விட்டுறலாம், எக்ஸாம் மாதிரி தான். ஸோ எக்ஸாமில் நீங்கள் பாஸ் ஆகணும்னா படிச்சு தான் ஆகணும். There is no choice, So I think voracious learning, reading and whatnot has really helped me to manage my stress. And of course the usual culprits, proper sleep, proper exercise. For me, exercise has been very important, 3, 4, 5 times a week. I think Vikram sir also is quite often in the gym and exercising. I think 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6 days a week. But I go there at least, try to exercise 3 times a week. I do about 45 minutes of cycling. Try to spend enough time with the family. I think that has been a great support for me to spend a lot of time with the family. Spiritual time has been very important. My wife used to bug me a lot, you're not praying enough, you have to be praying more often. So she was continuously nagging me. So finally I managed to become a little bit more spiritual. Of course my sisters also have been pushing me for many years. But I have certainly become a lot more spiritual these days than I used to be earlier, which has helped me to become more calmer, more relaxed and find more meaning in life and be more happy, I think. So definitely, spiritual time, spending times with friends has really helped a lot. And of course, not to forget the trips to Kutralam. I'm there at least 6 to 12 times a year. I find a way to go there because I just find the ambience is so, fresh. And it's just, nice to relax in that way. Then another thing which has always helped me is to stay positive. People, so many times, they want to be happy, but they don't seem to be making any effort to be happy. I many times feel it is within us. First, if you want to be happy, you have a responsibility to keep yourself in a positive frame of mind. Negative think it is like you're predicting doomsday and you make the worst things happen. So for me, always staying positive has been very, very important. And of course, working on emotional intelligence has been another very important item. So eventually happiness has followed. So I must say I'm quite happy with how my life is progressing, and hopefully I will find everlasting joy, happiness. Mr. Krishna, it should not be joy, it should be happiness, right? So sorry, I was going to say everlasting joy, but it should be everlasting happiness is, I think, what I should say. So let us all join hands with Sanmati and my dear Dr. Suresh and Shakuntala for all the wonderful job that they're doing, all the trustees for the amazing job that you're doing, and everybody who's come here to participate. I think we should all join hands, support, so that we make our families happy, our friends happy, our state happy, our country happy, and of course, the whole world a happier place. Sorry, not done yet. Last bit. Okay. Sorry, Ramadana பேசினேன் but Shakir, can you?
Yela 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 ma.
வேட்டக்காரி
காதல் பச்சோந்தி ராவில் பூச்சாண்டி பச்சை தண்ணி விட்டு பார்வையில் பத்த வெச்சாண்டி
தாண்டி குடி தாண்டி உன் தாவணி தொட்டேண்டி முத்தத்தால வேர்வையெல்லாம் சுத்தம் செய்யண்டி
அண்டக்காக்கா கொண்டக்காரி
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed.